Is this a great game or what? With the Hall of Famer Tim Kurkjian, I'm his son Jeff Kurkjian, and today we are at the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. We are presented by GameChanger and Dick's Sporting Goods today with our two amazing guests. Dad, who did we have to our right?
We've got the voice of Little League Baseball, Karl Ravech, and we got his knucklehead
The
friend.
voice in my ear,
right?
Todd Frazier.
And we got the best analyst that's ever done Little League Baseball, Todd Frazier. Thanks so much, boys, for joining us.
Look, if there's a circus in town, we're going to be a part of it. This is a circus.
Before we get started, last year Todd made a pin, Jeff, for me and Ravi and Todd. It was like the coolest thing ever. So we made a pin for Todd.
No way.
And for Ravi. So this is your pin.
What?
And this is your pin, Todd. And you got to open it up.
Oh, my God. Look at this bad boy.
Right, so we called Steve Strauss, who is Todd's guy,
Oh,
and we got
my
these
God.
pins made. Now,
Look at that.
Since not everyone's going to be able to see this,
But we should just imitate it.
right? The inside joke
my
is
God.
that when we did games together, Ravi and I, when
That's
the count was
incredible.
2-2, Jeff, I used to just go, it's 2-2, and then I would lean to the
Lean.
right. So then Ravi would start doing it, and then Todd did it. So now, when there's a 2-2 count and we're all doing a game, we go like this. It's 2-2.
2-2,
And that's what the pin looks like.
It's an amazing pin
how
tip.
This
great
is
is
amazing.
that?
Your fingers are huge on this pen. And, Tim, you know what?
I don't know if you know this, but he has rather big hands for a
Yes.
guy his size.
I
If
think
he
I've
hasn't
heard
told
it
you 1,000.
30,000 times. Tim, I got to be honest. I got a pin for you, too, as well.
No way.
I made my second
did it
commemorative
again.
No,
pen.
you did it again.
Here's, you guys can figure out what color you want there, but there's another one. And look at you, Timmy, on the top there.
Are you on
Am
the
I
shoulders?
actually?
You're on my shoulders, and then Tim's on your shoulders.
Timmy,
Stop it.
2 years in a row, I just look like a little monkey who's trying to get into the picture. Like, please, can I be a part of this? Todd, this is so good. It's better
you
than
what.
mine. Oh, my gosh. It's so great.
I'm touched. I am really touched.
You should be.
I am.
I was going to put you on the top, but then
I appreciate you
Then
not
I
doing
understood Timmy boy should be on
Well,
the top.
Todd, we used your buddy at Infinity Pins.
Steve Strauss is the best.
Steve, shout out. He was great. And let me just say, we got a little excited for Williamsport this year. So we bought like a ton of our pins.
Yes.
So you get one, Todd, but we're going to give you like 70 more.
Yes, I'm gonna need all of them.
Todd, I was going to say, Steve, I need like 5 of each.
Do you,
Five
do you understand what I can get for this pin? Now everybody's gonna know.
I do want to know
Yes.
that.
What
'cause you're
can
the
you
pin
get
trader.
for
I'll
that
make sure.
pin?
I mean,
Thousands?
5 to 10 pins for sure because there's only one of its kind.
Yeah.
Solid job by
So
you
you
guys.
make how many of these you make?
Well, we made
Roughly?
So there are 3 different styles,
Yes.
3 different colors.
Yes.
So
Oh
we've
my
got,
God. So there's a set. Okay.
Yeah, we got 50 of each. I
Oh
was
my
going to
God.
ask for like a total of 6.
Yeah, 3 of each.
150.
He said, I'm not doing
Steve,
that.
Right,
Steve takes care of you. He knows.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was dirt cheap, so I don't care how
Yeah.
much it costs. I just didn't know how the process worked.
He didn't
but-
want to go limited edition
No.
5.
Right.
That limited edition would have been.
So
I
Todd,
could've got a bag full.
he was so helpful, but he sent us like the first draft, and we weren't leaning enough to
Okay,
the right.
yes.
And when I explained, Todd is upright here, he has to be leaning like Ravi and I are leaning. That's when we ended up with that.
Let me ask you here.
Yeah.
The outfit I am, is that like a mafioso reference there?
It does. It
Okay.
looks like you're in the mafia,
Yeah.
like a
All
Jersey
right.
guy who's just put out a
Solid.
hit on somebody.
And
Tell you what, my day's made already. Thank you.
and you being on the top, wasn't there some reference to your size in Williamsport in years past?
Yes.
Well, okay.
Every year there's every year. And I'm 138 pounds this year when I got here.
Look
so.
at his hands around your neck. Did you see the hands around the neck there?
Have you ever seen my hands?
Right.
Because I actually have the smallest hands
Yeah.
in America.
Right.
No, I do.
No,
Look,
I've
look,
seen
look,
him.
look.
We've joked, yes.
This one. Look.
Wow.
my
I'm
God.
Yeah.
not even up to a second knuckle.
Right.
Yeah, but you don't need big hands to be a pickleballer
No, you
like
don't.
yourself.
No.
That's
And you
for
don't
sure.
need-
Or a golfer.
Or a golfer. Ravi's like a 5 handicap, and he's a great pickleball player and everything else. It's so
But
good.
you know how bats have different handles, and
Yeah.
I do have a smaller, thinner handle on my pickleball
Right.
pad.
So
Smart.
I love to look at guys anagrams. I love anagrams. I did this the other day for Yu Darvish. This is ridiculous. Yu Darvish's anagram is Ravi Yu Dish. How about that? That comes out of Yu Darvish's name. So Ravi's the point guard. So
Yep.
coach would tell him, Ravi, You dish. And what does Ravi do better, Todd, than anyone in the booth?
Look away.
He dishes to
The assist.
dishes to the analyst,
Without a
right?
doubt.
Nobody's better
Behind
than
the
Ravi.
back.
I've hit a few people in the head. They don't know what's coming.
Right. Now, Ravi, we put this out on Twitter the other day. Tell us about the one-handed catch that you made, and don't be modest about this. You made a one-handed catch in the booth last year, correct? Left hand or right hand? Which one? I'm serious.
I know, I hear you. I'll tell the story. It wasn't one-handed, and it was two-handed. So if he's Kyle Peterson, the ball is shooting back up here.
Kyle went this way.
He ducked. I mean, he's under the table. He's gone. I catch it, and all I hear from him is, "Did you?" And I don't. What do you mean? Did I? Did you?
Yeah.
Which means, did you catch the ball? Are you dead? Where's the ball? I said, yeah, it's right here. So he ducked, and then it became a thing like ripping me because I used two hands. I caught
Yes,
the ball.
I remember hearing
Right.
that.
Move on here.
While calling a game.
With no glove. I
He
mean, like,
thought
boom.
you should have one-handed it?
I don't know what he thought that. I know what he thought. He should have left. He should have been embarrassed.
Yeah,
This is a pitcher, right? I mean, you're not ducking.
At least you caught the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So before we
And it
jump
was coming at 100 to 150 miles an hour.
easily in MLB comparison as we do, right?
Exactly.
We also have an exclusive Great Game or What pin
Oh,
that we
my.
did this year. Look at Todd; his eyes got real big. Did you see that?
Right.
So Todd,
Also unique, right?
This is a gold mine
for coming on today, you're taking home a couple of these
That's
sticks. We got a lot of them as well. You too.
I need
Bob
to find
Barker.
Yes.
It's
There you
made
go.
of new to
And
your
you
animals.
get a pin, and you get a pin.
So good.
So
Yeah.
this is Steve Strauss
Wow.
did this for us also. This is our thing that Kelly Kurkjian.
Is this a great game or what? Just like that. Solid. Solid.
You should have heard
Jeff,
Todd.
your first pin.
My first pin. Yeah.
Todd was impersonating me earlier when he was yelling for Jeffrey. What did that sound
Jeffrey!
like?
Get over here. We got a podcast to do.
He's the first one to ever imitate Tim's voice.
Right.
The first.
Ever.
Oh, God. That is so
Ravi,
funny.
you dish. I've only heard Ravi. You are an idiot. What a
So
clown.
this also came out on Twitter the other day. Never a good idea to read Twitter,
No.
but somebody wrote, if you close your eyes and listen, Chris Burke sounds exactly like Tim Kurkjian sounds like on the air. I told Chris Burke that. I told him, this is the worst thing that anyone has ever said about you is that your voice sounds like mine. Agreed, right?
Yeah, I don't hear that. No.
I don't hear it
don't
either.
that
That's
either.
the point.
And I
No,
would have
no,
tried
no.
to spare Chris that description. I wouldn't have said anything. Leave him alone. He needs positive reinforcement.
I agree. All right, so Todd, we have a second present for you.
Oh,
last
my
year,
God.
Is this Christmas? What is happening
last year, Todd started to bring a notebook to
Yes,
the
he
game.
did.
Yes.
He started keeping notes at a baseball game, Jeff. It was so cool because he watched the way that I was doing it, and he wanted to learn from me.
Yes, I did.
So I got him a notebook, and I showed him how
Stop
to
it.
do it. You do it one page at a time.
Okay, no-
You try to stay within
no front to
yourself.
back.
No front to back. You only go on a nice clean page. So
Wow.
for the rest of the Little
Oh
League
my
World Series,
God.
that's yours.
Gotta get him.
I'll
okay?
be
Have him sign
Yeah,
that.
I mean, first you got to sign it first.
You need him to
edition.
sign that.
Right.
Put
So
a
the-
comment in there. Oh,
the
man.
great story about those notebooks
Wow.
is years ago they got discontinued. Dad
Yeah.
couldn't find them at
Oh
the
my
local
God.
Staples. And Carl, you
I
probably remember this.
Yeah, this was heartbreaking.
For a Father's Day gift, my mom was able to find like the manufacturer in China and order directly from them. And they sent. I mean, she ordered them all, but maybe 100 of these in the biggest box
Wow.
you've ever seen from the actual factory. And so now he's.
Tim, I got to.
So
This is incredible.
you got a
man.
notebook
I got to be honest.
and 2 pins, right? And you need to just write on the front
Neat.
so you know which notebook it is.
Yeah.
Like mine, like May of 2025, so I don't get anything confused, right?
And even if you're
Incredible.
not doing the game, he still does that. We had
Right.
video of him down talking to one of the coaches
Right.
with his notepad.
Right.
The only qualifier is he wasn't writing anything in the notepad, but he had it
Had
out,
it
and
out.
he looked the part.
Well, we had one
Yes.
of the great moments on Little League last year when there was a picture of me and Todd
Yeah.
with our notebooks, the dinky
You're-
little sports writer and the
Listen,
home run derby champion.
You're the mentor of mine, and I appreciate that, big dog. Give me some.
There
I
you
would
go.
say the only other thing you have to add is you have to use a hotel pen that
I
you
know.
took
Yep.
from wherever you
Residence
went.
Inn.
My
Yep,
dad
I got
has
that.
so many hotel pens. He won't ever buy a pen. He has all of these pens. That's what he uses.
They
He's
work
probably
for me.
saved $20,000 over his
Easily
career.
with
Yeah.
the amount of notebooks.
Exactly. So Brian McClintock of Little League came up to me yesterday and said, I listened to the Todd Frazier podcast from last year. I listened to it every single week. And he goes, The referee that he does is the single funniest thing that I've ever seen. So, Todd, you have to give us, because Mike Monaco's here, too.
Mikey.
He
Woo,
came,
Mike
Monaco
Just to watch
came
this.
to watch you guys.
Yeah, Mikey's there.
So, Todd, you have to show us your referee, because it is the single funniest thing I've ever seen. Now, you can do it any way you want,
I'll
block
stay
or chart.
back here so you can see. I mean,
We got Joe Puccio, who is our producer extraordinaire, so he'll get it on video too.
By the way, 3 nights ago in a public restaurant, he was doing this very seriously.
Mike was there.
And Burke, who has the voice like yours,
Right.
was egging him on.
And Chris had never seen it, right?
No, but he knows how to poke. He's like this happens.
you have to stretch.
He's getting loose.
These biceps need to work. They're not the biggest one. So you bring the team in, you look at both of them, jumps going up, one bounce, up, boom, boom. Then you get a hop, and you go. All right? So the bottom line is you don't want to show anybody up. You don't want to be too bigger than the game, you know.
Right.
But if there is a call, all of a sudden we're going full court. It's high step, block, down. And you have to yell. If you don't yell, they don't know you're there. 2-1, block. Subs, wait a second. Subs like to get a little chippy and come in. Wait, 2 shots.
Now, what is the hand on the subs? Did you do it like that?
Hold on.
Like this?
Control, like there. Player control, you either go there and then you come back here. This way. So,
What were you doing in the restaurant the other night where you were kind of slapping your arm? What was that one?
like a strike call.
That.
You know what I mean? If you're not red, the home plate umpire at the end of the game,
You're doing something wrong. Now, Todd, you talked about Ken Kaiser, the umpire in the big leagues, who I did a million of Ken Kaiser games. So did you growing up, right? So show us what Ken. Only like 4 people are going to understand this.
I'm not old enough,
It's
but
good
I
enough.
remember seeing videos and hearing.
Yes.
Ken Kaiser, he's at first base like this. He's got his hand here, just chilling. Ken, did he go? And for now a call, if he went, some guys, did he go here? Did he go? I'm the 2-handed Spider-Man. Did he go? And you got Ken here. And
Subtle Ken.
And then if he went, the elbow. So you take tits and bits from other people and you work them into what you want to do.
Todd, where did this come from? Officials and referees? Where did that come? Where did
and why did it come?
Yes, exactly.
I honestly don't know. I umpired Little League when I was younger. I was the guy with the big bag.
Right.
Shin guards.
Used them, right? Oh, yeah.
Hard to call strikes in that thing. Sometimes there was, other times you rip it across. So, it just depends on how you're feeling that day. On one knee always, too. You got to make sure you see that small zone.
So you're down on one knee no matter what?
When I was younger, yeah.
Yes.
Now, who's more animated? Major League Baseball umpires or, the Jess Kerseys and Mendy Rudolphs of the NBA world in years past?
Oh, man. I think the NBA passed. I honestly think, because they can move more, and
They got a lot of runway on that whole court.
They have a lot of runway, and they, when the foul is called, they get zoomed in even more. People see the strike calls. Nobody really cares.
Right.
There might be 1 or 2 plays during the game where it's like, whoa, nice call. But NBA, there's a bunch you can
Todd, do you watch NBA referees?
No, not anymore.
Do you know what their names are?
No, I had my neighbor.
Right.
That's Kane Fitzpatrick.
Right.
Now he's one of the top guys in the studio that helps out the referees.
Right.
I would ask him all the time, like, who do you dislike? Who's the guy you call fouls on? He would never give me the juice, but I would ask him questions. I'm like, bang, bang, play. Are you getting into it? He says, that's my time. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get into that one. So I'm like, you know what? I used to do it in Little League and regular tier, Tom's River Basketball Association things. I'm like, I'm going to do it too.
Now, do you practice this at home? Do you do these things while you're alone in a room with a mirror?
I used to.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, don't be shy.
No, I used to. Right when I got out of the shower in my underwear.
Okay,
Is that
good.
weird?
Thanks for putting underwear on.
Pause.
In airports, pause. It's another great thing I'll tell you about him that we've learned this year. But in airports, where Tim and I have spent much of our time together, if you are walking behind him, all of a sudden you will see no one's with him.
Oh, my God.
He's not talking to anybody. He will impersonate an umpire.
Yeah.
In the middle, have you seen that ever before?
Oh, gosh. Long car rides as a kid. Kelly and I in the back. Mom, you just see Dad in the front. Yeah. There's no game on. We're not listening to it. He's just going, yeah.
I'm just trying to keep active and awake while I'm driving a car. So I'll routinely go,
nothing wrong
yeah.
with that.
And supermarkets, I've seen it with him. People look at him.
Like, you know, the
he
golf
doesn't know
swing
they
guy?
look at him.
There's the golf swing guy who's out in, aisle 4, like really trying to get that sand wedge down.
Oh, yeah.
That's him, but with an umpire. We had to have a family meeting at one point because when I was a kid, my dad would jokingly say, yeah, when we say, Tim, are you ready to go? Yeah, right?
Oh, my God.
And I started to do it, and my mom had to shut it down and said, you cannot, because you're going to be in an interview, and they're going to say, are you prepared for your first date? Yeah.
The golf swing is such a good, my wife, Chris, when I come back from an event after being with him, I will in the kitchen either do this, swing the bat, or what? Stop. Just stop. We are not doing that here. Why are you? Stop.
Yes.
Todd, I've seen your wife. She's beautiful. She
Thank
makes you look like a pile of inner tubes. When she sees you walking around the house doing a strike call, what is she thinking?
She doesn't say anything anymore.
Head shaking, right?
No, that's it. That's it. I know it's going to be a bad day for me, pretty much. So
I want to stay on officials for a second. A couple weeks ago, I officiated a wedding for one of my best friends, and I said this to my dad on the podcast. One track mind, it's all sports. So I said I officiated, and he says, wait, is that the correct term? And
he's
he
all
said,
about terms.
He's like, is that the way? And I said, well, you could say I performed a wedding, but yes, you are the officiant. You officiated a wedding.
Ordained, something like that.
Yeah, and you were ordained. So I told him, I didn't say bride and groom, here, I didn't tell him where to stand like that. But
awesome.
I could have.
It seems like an odd verb. It seems like, and Mendy Rudolph is the guy that, and you brought up Mendy Rudolph's name. He hasn't refereed a game in 40 years.
No, he hasn't.
We brought up the same guy. Yeah.
But we're 60. We saw Mendy.
Right.
We watched Celtics games growing up. I mean, that was, Jess Kersey was the guy. You asked Bob Ryan, your friend.
Right.
He was public enemy number one for a lot. Jake O'Donnell, public enemy number one in Boston for many years.
Right. Bob Ryan wrote something about the officials once during the finals, and something happened in the game, and I think it was Jake O'Donnell looks at Bob Ryan in the middle of the game at the press row and said, "This is your fault." Like,
no way.
This happened because
God.
of the story that you wrote today about the officials. It was hilarious. That's awesome. This is the impact that writers can actually have.
So quickly, just to sort of pull the curtain back on a booth, the new one this year is occasionally you'll say something in a game that the public may hear as like, well, that was sort of risque, a little odd.
Right.
And now we get into a place where we're trying to do that.
Right.
So when he does that, I've learned he'll say, let's for instance say, it's going to be a bad day for me when I, swing a golf club or make a call in front of my wife.
Right.
He will then say, pause. I can't. So it's going to be a bad. It's a bad day. Like pause. Like you can't even have that thought because it's risque.
Yeah.
So he says pause all the time. So anytime you say something and you think about it, you're like, pause.
If anyone between like Pete Alonso yesterday, I say, Frazier, you know what I'm saying? If you hang it, and I'm like, yeah, you bang it. I'm like, pause. Like you don't want to say bang it.
He's inventing stuff on the air.
He hit that ball hard.
So Todd,
real hard. Pause.
Right. The pins are so great. So tell us
and yours are too.
Tell us how many pins you now have since you're the ultimate pin collector. How many do you have at your house?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know the exact account, but anywhere from 10 to 15,000 pins, I would say, sitting in my basement. Yeah.
And the last we talked to you last year about this, you said, I'm going to build a room or a wall. And
yes.
So there is a room in your house just for Little League World Series pins.
Yeah, so we got these big pin boards, these all-black pin boards. There's 12 of them that you could probably fit, depending on how big the pins are, anywhere from 600 to 800 of them on there. Small, large, just depending on how many you want to do. And I have 4 left that, for this year's pins, I'm going to put all those on there. So it's in my movie theater.
Is this
downstairs.
an industry anywhere else besides like Little League? Where else do people make and trade pins?
Cooperstown.
But is it all baseball related, or are there other industries that do pins?
No, not necessarily. And I mean, Disney World does a little thing, but it's not as big here. They're very collectible. Disney pins are very collectible. The Olympics. When we went to the Olympics, you get every country had their own pin. It was cool, whether it was small or big. So I probably have 300 of those. And then,
do you have one favorite pin? Is there one that has the halo effect around it?
So there's a couple. I like nostalgic stuff. I love anything that deals with, 9/11 or the Twin Towers.
Okay.
These people make such incredible pins, and there's 2 or 3 that, they're pretty good sized pins, and they animate it with the Twin Towers, and there's a firefighter around it, and a police officer and a dog. Like, there's really unique ones, and there's like a set of 10 of them. I just got it yesterday, finally.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And
You trade for it here?
yeah, trade for
Really?
it here. So it was, those kind of things are awesome. There's probably 50 pins at least of myself that I collected over the years that people have made. So
You're in 50.
yeah,
You're
at least 50 of
Wow.
them.
Is it like an art collection? I mean, is that how you look at it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, maybe it's a little crazy, about how many pins I have.
Not when there's some significance
yeah,
behind it.
but it's
and that
only
one-
this time of year is when I do it. I don't
Right.
go anywhere else to collect anywhere else. It's
shut it
only
down, yeah.
this time of year. So I'm not overly crazy about them, but when this time of year comes around, I try and get as many as I
Now,
can.
the groupings on the wall, are they systematically grouped? I mean, do you have...
Yeah.
So it's artistically done, right?
So, like, there's like an Americana one, like
Right.
USA, like
Right.
Twin Tower stuff, police, firefighters, that stuff. There's one of just me, who I'm still trying to fill up a little bit. One's cartoon characters, one's Disney stuff.
There's one of me, which I'm trying to fill up.
Well, we just got a new one for you
That's
to
your
fill
second
up.
one
This
now.
is great.
There's one. So you now have a couple with you. You can start your me,
I do.
which I know you're big
and
into.
again, the one that you gave us last year, it sits right next, Jeffrey's seen it, it's right next to it's on my desk, right next to the lamp that I turn on, next
Beautiful.
to my computer. Now I've got 2 of them there. And I think my head is a little bit bigger in this one.
I
but-
just like where your hand placement is on Carl's neck. That's all. I made sure of that spot.
Do you go back and forth with the designer saying, no, Tim needs to be kind of caressing
Yeah, that took 3
Carl's
tries to
neck
make
a little
that
bit?
one. Took 3 tries, yep.
I
I didn't like the
appreciate
colors until they made a different color, too.
You're hanging on to my ankle so I don't fall. Pause. But you're hanging on there. I appreciate you doing that.
There it is.
By the way, it brings up our buddy Chris Berman, who we love.
Right.
But at one point, Berman was 2 quick ones on Berman. He's sitting on the set. He's like, single of me, and then zoom in on me. So there's which was wonderful. And then the second one, and I tell him this all the time. You know this story. Kyle Loesch.
Right.
Go ahead, finish it.
All right, so John Kruk is on.
Oh, he knows it.
Oh, yeah.
I was saying,
So if you don't know it, Kyle Loesch is a pitcher, and
you've never heard this?
I don't know if I've heard this
so
story.
Chris Boomer is doing baseball tonight, and John Kruk is on with us, just the 2 of them. He looks at John Kruk and goes, Kyle Loesch, we knew,
but we didn't know.
And Kruk looks at him like, what does that mean? I don't even understand.
That was the tee-up.
Is that a question? Is it a statement? What does it mean? And so for years,
We knew,
we
but we didn't know.
So all you gotta
Kruk
do,
literally is like, what do I do with Ravi after the show? What do I do with that? What does that mean? Do I now go?
the next time you see John Kruk, just look at him and go, Kyle Loesch, and he'll go.
Oh, he knows. He remembers.
We knew, but we didn't know.
And he knows that.
That's awesome.
It's so good. So the other day, tell the story about the coach that apologized to me yesterday here at the Little League World Series. Yeah, this happens all the time.
And for some reason, somebody told me the story, but this happens all the time.
All
and
the
maybe it does to baseball players. I don't know. But it happens all the time to ESPN personalities,
Okay.
Sports Center anchors, especially. And maybe it happens now, but it certainly happened a lot. For instance, when Steve Levy was working there, many times I would walk somewhere and someone would say, "Hey, Levy, how you doing?"
Oh, okay.
And you don't really, you kind of wave to it. So one of the Little League coaches apparently went up to Tim and said, "Hey, I love what you do. You guys are great up there. Keep doing the good work, Carl."
Oh, no. He dropped
This happens all the time. So this was
Really?
at the regional. So that team, Braintree, Mass, made it
And
to.
they won.
And then tell them what happened yesterday. The guy felt so bad about this.
What happened yesterday?
Well, yesterday you went and talked to him, and
I told him. I
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, I heard that. It's a great story. I love the story, but you got to go apologize to Tim."
Yeah.
I'm Carl.
Right.
That's Tim.
So I was in
That's
the lobby
tough.
of the hotel last year, and this guy comes up to me breathlessly and goes, "Oh my God, it's you! You are the best guy on Little League baseball, Karl. You are my favorite guy." Which is okay, but before long, like 20 family members are over. Come on over and meet Karl.
You can't interrupt him after that.
Can't. So for 2.5 minutes, I became Karl Ravech, which
my
means
God.
I was a 4 handicap and I had the smallest hands of all time
my
for 2.5 minutes. But what else are you going
What
to
if
do?
they asked you to sign something at that point? What would you sign?
Well, I would have to say, tell the truth then. All
No,
right,
you sign it, Karl.
Xanax Karl.
KR.
Yeah.
I've been called Mike Chirico, Craig Kilborn.
That's
I've been
tough.
called all of them.
Right.
I mean, hey, TV guy. Everyone.
yeah.
Baseball guy. I know you.
Todd, I went to the Braves clubhouse in spring training several years ago, and I take out my credential to show it to the guy, the older guy at the gate, and he goes, "Oh, you don't have to show it to me. I've been watching you and reading you for 40 years. I would know you anywhere, Peter." That's what he called me. So
Peter.
Peter
Oh,
Gammons?
Peter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Who is
legend.
the greatest baseball writer ever.
Oh.
It's the greatest compliment ever paid to me.
You'll
is
take-
that
you'll take that.
I'll take it.
You
but
walked away.
It was
I
so.
like that. Yep.
It was so funny. I know who you are. Don't worry. As it turned out, he didn't know.
And by the way, it does happen to players because
Sure.
Ruben Amaro couldn't get into a World Series in which he was like an assistant or GM of the team.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let him in.
Right.
And Pedroia for the Red Sox in
Yes.
Colorado after
Right.
taking a lefty deep.
Jeff Francis,
He
right?
took Jeff Francis. The next day he shows up, and the security guard wouldn't let him in.
Oh,
and his response was, "Go ask Jeff Francis who I am."
And there was an F word in there too.
How about
right?
Reggie Jackson
Yeah,
one time,
Reggie
too?
Jackson. Reggie tried to get in.
He said, what did he say?
MR.
OCT.
Right.
Yeah.
MR,
No, the
Mr.
young kid said, "What is your name?" He goes, "What is my name?"
Oh.
MROCTOBER. He
That's,
spelled it out.
That's incredible.
Oh my God, it's so classic Reggie. So, Ravi, what I learned last year from the Million Conversations with Todd on the air was who we share a birthday with. Did we go? We went over this with you. I don't think it was anybody really famous.
There is nobody famous, including myself, born on January 19th. No
Right.
one.
So I said to
That
Todd,
I know of.
I said, "Todd, who do you share a birthday
Yeah.
with?" And he goes like this: Abraham Lincoln,
that's
baby.
right, baby.
Wow.
Look at you.
Lincoln, I've been thinking. That's my guy.
I don't know why I get such a big kick out of you and Abraham Lincoln sharing the same birthday. Herb
I got the
Scorer
beard.
40 years ago, you know.
I got the hat on the pin, almost. We're almost there. Almost.
Definitely as impactful as Abraham Lincoln.
Yes, very much so.
So, Todd, when's the last time you sang in public for anybody?
Not for a long time.
All right, now-
Probably for you.
All right.
You can see my voice is a little rasp here.
That happens here.
All right,
It
now,
does.
Can
I'm
you,
surprised you're still talking.
Right. Can you do Fly Me to the Moon just for us, please? Just, Todd, you've made a complete fool of yourself already. We can go further.
Is that a real warm-up? Like,
No,
is
that was just
Oh,
for
that was just
Tim
you
and
doing
Jeffrey.
that?
That was
Right.
for Jeffrey.
Carl, to catch you
Jeffrey!
up, we had Eddie Alvarez on the show last year, who played
Solid.
on the same team as Todd did for the Olympic team. And he told us, well, having Todd on our team just made it 100 times more fun. And he sent us a video of him singing
Oh, my.
Arabian Nights from Aladdin while they were waiting for a bus.
I
Out of
have
nowhere.
That. I'll show you that one.
Well, before you warm
Yeah.
your voice out, I'll say this. I mean, we sit in that booth, and Williamsport plays music from the 80s,
Yeah.
maybe, and there are not really any modern songs, but it literally within, like, remember Name That Tune?
Of course.
Right.
So people can name the tune in one note.
Right.
Yeah.
Soon as a song comes on, I think it's because his wife, he's got daughters, that they sing he knows every single song. And he starts to sing, honest to God, I don't even hear the music up there, but I hear him, and it is what's being played. Every song he's singing in the booth.
Todd, where does that
I
come
don't
from?
know. You're
Where
pretty
does
good at it, too, though.
Yeah, but it's the daughter. It's
Yeah.
you know, Jimmy Dykes, our buddy from
Right.
college
Sure.
basketball. He's got his daughter's a cheerleader.
Yeah.
They listen to these songs, and
It just gets
you know,
stuck.
it gets stuck. You have to pick up on it. I have all boys. I never was exposed to that. So, and as Chris would say, I know nothing about music and don't ever. I'm the worst. I would never even attempt to sing. But he knows every word
Before
to
you
every
sing,
song.
I'm going to tell you a story. I may have told you about Jeffrey. He goes to a piano bar, dueling piano bars
Those are the best, by the way.
in Cleveland,
Yep.
and he knows the host. So the host says, "Come on out and sing for us." So he plays Desperado.
Oh, my God.
Desperado.
Wow. Eagles, great
After
song.
he's done, one of the great songs ever. After he's done, Glenn Fry's brother who was in the audience, came up to him and tell Todd what he said. Tell me.
He's always yelling. We gotta make sure his mic is level.
He's always whacking people.
Right, I know. Every time you go to baseball tonight, you go, hey, it's Tim Kurkjian. So he comes up to me, and I did one song because, as Dad said, the owner was like, "Get up, like do it." And I said, "No, I'm here. I'm just having a good time. I'll play one."
You did that on purpose.
Right? I was like,
I'm
good. And he comes up and he tries to give me $100 bill, and I say, "No, I'm not. I don't like play here. I'm just like you. I'm just drinking here." And he says, "My wife wants you to play another one." So I played another one. I played something by Billy Joel, and then maybe one or two more songs, of course, because I can't shy away from the crowd.
$1,000.
And then I come back, and they try to give me money again. They end up just buying me another drink, and then he comes up and says, "I'm Glenn Frey's brother," and that is by far the coolest rendition I've ever heard of that song. Wow. And it was all the setting. You know, here's this, at the time, 24-year-old kid goes up and someone said, "Play the Eagles," and that's my favorite Eagles song by far. And
great
so,
song. Yep.
And Glenn Frey had just died in the last year, so
at that point,
it really
probably hit home well.
meant
nice.
something even more.
All right, go ahead, sing. Give us a
so
little.
do it any form you want, but you have to do Arabian Nights for Eddie Alvarez.
Arabian night, like Arabian days.
And they all started laughing. That might not even be the words, but that's just what I thought I heard.
Of course.
So you're on the Olympic team, and you're making everybody laugh with your singing. Eddie said it was the greatest thing he's ever seen.
And it just was really random, too. He was filming, and he just looked at me, and I just blurted it out.
Right, it was not a setup. He was just filming the guys waiting for a bus, and he zooms in on Todd, and Todd just starts performing, which is no surprise.
Was your mom, dad, any relative in theater, acting?
My cousin was.
Where do you get this stuff?
I have no clue.
Because you got brothers? I mean,
Did anyone else in the family sing?
No, nobody does. I was in the chorus for 3 years. That was it.
In high school, junior?
Yeah, no, 7th, 8th, 9th grade.
Really?
Yeah, I was in the choir at the church for a little bit, and then at school. So
you're the best athlete in the school, and you're singing in the church choir, and you're singing in the choir. It's okay to say yes.
I sang, and I sang with my heart.
That's
and my soul.
It's gonna start
all right,
crying.
so no tears.
So
It's
Todd,
a no-tear podcast.
when you were, speaking of what Karl was saying about hearing these songs in between innings, when you were playing and there's a walk-up song, were you like singing out in the field or in the dugout? Were you like, this is like...
Yeah, no, I get a little movement for sure. Yeah,
It's like Pavlovian dog stuff. I mean, honest to God, a note, and he goes. He knows every word.
Right.
So Todd, when you used to play for the Reds, I wrote this story, so you got to help me. I can't remember the words. You would go to like the woman that is in charge of the clubhouse, or she's the trainer or something. You would sing something to her.
Oh, so I would do roll call.
Would you please do that?
Man.
This was the last thing he said in the clubhouse before going out on the field to play a major league game.
Yeah, well, I would first walk in and do roll call. When I walk into the clubhouse, I would go, ho, and all the trainers would be like, ho, and they start doing it. And I'd be like Tomas Vera was one of them, like, Tomas Vera, and like they would play it off. They'd be like, and if they didn't give me acknowledgement, I would keep going.
Right.
Like he was one, I'd be like, Tomas Vera, and I'm like, Tomas, and then they give me acknowledgement. And then I go to Paulie, then I go to this one, then I go to this one. And the massage therapist was Mickey, and I'd be like, Mickey, and then she'd go, and I'd be like, hey, Mickey, you so fine, you blow my mind, hey, and she'd be like, Mickey, and then I'd walk out. So we would, if she didn't say Mickey, I'd have to do it again. So we'd
I'm going to ask again, what is wrong with you?
No, absolutely everything. If you're
Which
not,
makes you beautiful.
Listen,
So
162 games out of the year, you got to be some sort of kooky.
That's why we're all red-nosed shy of a circus. Like you. That's why we're that way.
That's a great quote. Write that down.
Oh, I've heard it 18 billion times. Like when he brought up, your wife, and then he brought you up in a pile of tubes or that's 417,000 times.
I've never heard of
Jeffrey. I mean, Jeff has a Rolodex of the same. Like, look at the eye roll. Like,
you can make a book.
Listen, I thought doing a podcast with my dad would be the greatest thing ever, and it is. But man, I should get an Oscar for the amount of times I laugh over the same jokes.
Rodney Dangerfield
time.
jokes 100 times.
But Todd, now it's a running joke with me and Ravi that I tell the joke knowing he already hears it. He gets so annoyed by it.
Right, I've heard it.
He gets so annoyed by it that it's even funnier that two people are in on the joke, but that's
There's
all it takes.
There's going to be one time in the next some odd years he's like, I don't think I've heard that one before.
And then he'll announce after. I do that to irritate you. You do know that.
Right. You're better when you're
irritate
irritated.
you.
Yes. I did tell you one in Philadelphia you hadn't heard before, and you had a giant pause instead of being disgusted.
Pause.
Right. Never mind about that. So yesterday I was talking to the Mariner guys. I want to get your thoughts on this, both of you. So Dylan Moore told me, I said, did you go down the hill? And he said, no, but I played wiffle ball with the kids, and the Japanese kids, 10 of them, all struck me out.
Oh, my God.
So he's playing wiffle ball with a bunch of 12-year-olds. He's a big leaguer, and they struck him out. When you were, have you been over and played with the kids, ping pong, wiffle ball, anything since
I have to do that eventually.
Right.
Maybe it's next year, but...
No, this year we're going up there and we are playing pickleball because there's pickleball players up there that want to take us.
Right, and Ravi's going to kick everyone's butt for sure. Now, when you were 12, did you play against... What happened when you were 12?
The Japanese were great.
Right.
I would go in there and play against them, and we'd had some battles, too, people watching. They used to have the ping pong tables. You know how the net, it's like a flesh net?
Right.
It was wooden.
Right.
The net was wooden, so you couldn't get those dinkers that hit the net and go over.
Mm-hmm.
So they were battles. We had really good battles. I ended up winning, of course.
Right.
But they were really, really good. They would hold the paddle this way, too, like a different way.
Yep.
And it was just so hard to hit back.
And ironically, the Japanese kids are walking up the hill with their bats. They must have just come from practice.
Yeah.
You know, one thing about Little League, as we're here on this campus, which it occurred to me last night as we were driving home from the game, because the major leaguers were here yesterday, you know, you're always asked, and they're always asked about the uniqueness of being here, and we tend to fall back on the communication between the major leaguers and the little leaguers, and it allows the major leaguers to be kids again. And it struck me, as people that are involved with sports, I think sometimes we're so close to it, we also miss a major component of the Little League World Series and what makes this place and that day so special. And it's really the place. It's the two ballparks, which are nicer than any two ballparks a kid at 12 is ever going to see. Yep. It's the mountain range that frames this. It's the hill that they slide down. It's a lot like Augusta National, where it's the place. So we focus on Major League Classic Day, on that dynamic of just getting young again. We ignore the uniqueness of this place. And it struck me last night, we're missing it a little bit, because there's no other place where if nobody was here, you'd still be taken aback by what this looks like. It is a work of art, and there's no other place like it, and we don't, I think, pay enough attention to that.
I talked to the Northwest coach yesterday morning, Andy Audette, and I said, what was it like when you walked in here for the first time? And he said, I cried like a baby. And he said, the first night I was here, I didn't even go to sleep. I stayed up all night just to sit and look at where I was and make sure I understood that we actually made it here. And he said, the next night I woke up at 3 in the morning, the next night at 4 in the morning, and I just sat there and looked at the field. And then he's a grown man now. He said, a bunch of my friends called and said, you are living our childhood dream right now. Yep. And that's how important it was to him. And Jeff, tell the story about who we saw on the street last night.
So we're walking to go get dinner last night, and these 4 gentlemen walk right by us. Tim, love you. Didn't call you Carl this time. That was good. Tim, love you. Oh, can we get a picture? Of course. We stop, we get a picture, and they said, this is our Little League coach. This is his 70th birthday, and it's on his bucket list to come here. So we took our Little League, these are men in their 40s, mind you, our Little League coach to Williamsport, and we're coming back next year.
Right.
That's the beautiful.
The
They brought their
storylines
coach.
are incredible.
Right.
So I got a call. You know, I have 2 boys who grew up, and they had a pediatrician. His name was Russ Sylvester.
Right.
Russ Sylvester, since I was taking them to get their shots when they were 2 years old, had always said, I got to get to the Little League World Series. I got to get there. This year, he texts me, He says, I'm going up to the regionals in New England. Braintree, Mass is in the regionals. That's the Little League I played shortstop on 60 years ago.
Wow.
I said, oh my God. And he said, and if they make it, we're going. And Russ Sylvester and his wife came here to watch Braintree. Wow. And the beautiful part of it is, the text message of thank you, realize how important it is to him and his wife at this stage of their lives, but also it's better than what we thought it would be. Like, nobody has ever come and been disappointed by what the place is and everything that goes with it. And it just struck me last night, like, it's the place. You know? That's what it is. It's
100%.
It's why it's so cool.
Right.
Getting here is a dream, but it's the place that you go to.
And Jeff, tell us about your father-in-law. He came 2 years in a row. What was his story?
Yeah, so my wife, amazingly, as all dads here, my child was 10 days old. And she said, yes, Jeff, you can go to Williamsport 2.5 hours away, mostly because it was with her dad. My father-in-law always wanted to go. He's 70, always wanted to be here. And seeing it in his eyes was like a child. I mean, watching him see this for the first time was the coolest thing ever. And he is of Mexican descent, so he went up to Team Mexico and, like, went to every game when we were here of them, was cheering them on like they were big leaguers. These kids felt amazing. And also, he lives in Las Vegas, and they had a Las Vegas team from Henderson last year, and they supported them. And it's so neat because it truly is a representation of, you know, the name on the front, not on the back, and representing your country, your town, whatever it might be, that makes this place so fantastic. Speaking of, we have a couple signs of, and I think we have one for each. So, Dad, you're Mid-Atlantic.
All right.
I think we've got, Metro, of course, New England area there.
Yeah,
so we got,
I love that. All right.
It's things like this, the jerseys, the shirts that, like, I still have my Mid-Atlantic shirt from Media, Pennsylvania from 2 years ago, cheering on that team.
Well,
and you wore shirts last night, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. I had
cool.
That was a great addition to the broadcast.
I had the New England shirt on as a Needham Mass kid that had Jacob's Shoe Store on the back. Like, back then we had sponsors, Little League, and as Rob Manfred said, remember the uniforms? They were wool uniforms. This is 1976 that I'm wearing that. Part two of It's the Place is I'm glad that you appreciate Little League, because the Little League World Series and the people that watch, and it is by far the most watched thing that I've ever done at ESPN, Sunday Night Baseball, SEC, it's by far, and it's because of that connection that all the people have to their past. Men, women, they played baseball. Like, baseball was the sport for this country for so many years, and so many people from age 95 to 5 are encouraged to sit in front of the TV and watch because it draws them into a more innocent time. People crave that. They want that. That's why this event works. So it's the place, and it's literally for any reason you want to watch. They may not care about Nevada or Connecticut or Japan as a Little League team, but we once did that, and you sit in your living room or on your iPad and you tell stories to the people in the car about, like, Russ Sylvester, who played shortstop for the Braintree Little League. That's why this works, and that's why when Brett Musburger was doing it, I knew I wanted to be a part of the Little League World Series because it's timeless, and that's the beauty of it.
And Todd, when Tito Francona took a job for 1 year at ESPN, he had it written in his contract: I am not taking this job unless I get assigned to do Little League World Series.
That's cool.
Tito wrote that in. And
really
Joe
cool.
Madden, who grew up in Pennsylvania, had never been here. He comes here as the manager of the Cubs, and I'm standing on the field with him, and he goes, I cannot believe this field is at the bottom of a mountain.
Yeah.
Like, you can't see that on TV. You have to stand on the field to appreciate how breathtaking the mountain is.
Agreed.
It's just incredible. It's amazing.
How has this place changed since when you played here, Todd?
Well, I mean, there was only one stadium, of
Right.
course. There was only 4 USA teams, 4 international, so it was harder.
Right.
But, Volunteer Stadium is absolutely beautiful, too. They made that really nice. The amenities here are really great for everybody. There weren't many things to do. The fan zone wasn't here, really. So, it's still the same, but you try and remember every little detail. It's hard to do, but I just remember every game, 15 to 20,000 at least because every game mattered. You had 4 teams. You lose one game, you got to win the next 2 games too. So It was the best of the best of the best. So.
You keep in touch with your teammates?
Here and there. So, during this time, we have a group chat.
Oh, that's so cool.
We still talk, of course.
And Todd, do you keep in touch with any kid that you met, 30 years ago, whatever it was?
There's one or two. There's a kid from Delaware that still hits me up.
Right.
I was real.
Interesting phrase, right?
Pause.
Hey, pause.
I was really close with a kid from Saudi Arabia, but I haven't talked to him in a while, long time. But yeah, man, the friendships we made there were great.
And remember, Dan Wilson, of course, the Mariners manager, played here in 1981, so it's
right.
changed for him. Right. But as he said, it's the connection. It reminds us in a lot of ways that baseball is important not only in this country to the youth, but all around the world. We joke with the commissioner last night, we call the Major League Baseball World Series a World Series, and that's partly because there's people from around it ain't a World Series.
Right.
This is a World Series.
Right.
The WBC is a world classic.
Right.
And he, you could tell, he knew that. You're right. I mean, in a semantic world, this is a true World Series, and that's what makes it phenomenal. And baseball's important. Little League Baseball and all the stuff and the team and all is important. That's huge.
Love it so much. All right, we could keep you guys all day, but we're going to let you go. Todd, thank you for coming over.
Thank you.
Thank you for another pin,
Same,
which will
man.
be
Thank
on
you.
my desk. Ravi, thanks for coming
Yeah,
over.
My pleasure.
Voice of
Wouldn't
this.
miss it for us. It's great.
Right. And Jeff, way to go. We got the two best guys for Little League Baseball with us on our podcast. This will run on Wednesday. Can't wait.
I'm not sure I can get up because these weigh 9 pounds, so I'm not sure I can actually get out of this seat.
Thanks,
got you.
Carl. Thank you, Todd.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys.